Hello everyone and welcome back to Fix. And in this video I will be separating this Paggio Vespa's front body from the engine part. So come on, let's start the video. The one thing I like about Paggio Vespa is that when you open the seat, the boot space comes out easily like this. When you pull it out, you don't have to take out any screws to take it out. So like this you will have to take out your boot space first. Now under your boot space, what are the things that you should be disconnecting and taking out completely, that I will show you in this video now. But before you disconnect anything, you should keep your bike in such a position where you have space in front of your bike, so that when you are separating the front part from the engine, you will need some space to move the bike. Otherwise it will be a big problem. Later in this video you will come to know what I am talking about. So come on, let's start to leave the connections. The first thing you will have to take out is your carburetor. So first take out this vacuum pipe. Once you take out the vacuum pipe, take a 8 mm T-spanner like this, and the carburetor is held by 2 bolts. Take those 2 bolts out completely. One bolt you can take out with a T-spanner by putting the T-spanner through the spark plug compartment like this. But to take out the other bolt, you can't use a T-spanner. As you can see here, you cannot put the T-spanner properly to take that bolt out. So because of that, take a 8 mm spanner and loosen this bolt from top like this. Once you loosen both these bolts, take them out completely. So here comes my 2 bolts out. And once you take out those 2 bolts, wherever your carburetor is connected to the air filter box, there will be a metal ring there. You will have to loosen the screw of that ring. Now this accelerator cable is coming in between. So first I will take that out. So you simply have to rotate like this and pull the accelerator cable out. Now keep it on one side. The next thing what you will have to do is disconnect your carburetor from the air filter box pipe. And once you separate it from the pipe, you will have to leave the fuel line connection. So pull the fuel line connection out like this. Now while taking out the carburetor, this front gasket fell down. Now see that you keep it in the safe place. Then you will have to leave the choke cable connection. So there will be a screw here. You will have to loosen that screw and take the cable out from the clamp. Once you take the cable out from the clamp, you will have to press the choke like this with your hands, and you will have to separate the cable totally from the carburetor. And with this I am done leaving all the connections of the carburetor. Now your carburetor is totally separated from the bike. Take that out and keep it in a safe place. I will make a separate video of cleaning of carburetor. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, then see that you subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you will not miss any of my new videos. So come on, let's move on to the next thing in the video. And the next thing is, this air filter box has a pipe connected here. You will have to pull this pipe out and disconnect it from the air filter box. This pipe will be tightened with a zip lock. If you want, you can cut that zip lock and take that pipe out easily. But while you are putting it back, you will have to get some new zip locks to tighten these pipes. So here my pipe is totally separated from the air filter box now. Once you take that out, the choke cable and the accelerator cable will be inside a clamp, and that clamp is connected to the air filter box. So you will have to take out the bolt which is holding the clamp, and you will have to totally separate this clamp from the air filter box body. Once you separate that, see that you put the bolt back in the same place so that you won't lose it. And the next thing that you will have to leave is the sensor. Now this sensor will also have a 8 mm bolt like this. So take out this bolt and separate the sensor from the engine. One thing I like the most about this Paggio Vespa, that is most of the bolts are of 8 mm. Very rarely you will get a bolt which is of a different mm. So once you take out the sensor, see that you put the bolt back which is holding the sensor. So once you do that, the next thing that you'll have to do is disconnect this pipe which is connected to the air filter box. Now you will have to use a plier and press the clamp and separate this pipe from the air filter box. Once you separate that, your starter motor will have 2 wires connected to it. Those 2 wires you'll have to disconnect now. So one wire will be connected under this rubber. This rubber you'll have to pull down a little bit, and there will be a screw underneath. That screw you will have to take out with a screwdriver. Now to access this screw you will face difficulties, because there will be a pipe here which comes from the air filter box, and to disconnect the other wire you will have to take out the air filter box completely. So don't go to remove the pipe which is connected to the air filter box like how I have done here. The easy way is taking out the entire air filter box itself, which I will show you in the next step. So here comes out my screw. So once you take out the screw, your one wire is now separated from the starter motor. So now come on, let's go and take out the air filter box, because it is coming in the middle. Now this air filter box will have 8 mm 2 bolts. As you can see here, there is one bolt here. Take a T-spanner and take out this bolt completely. And the next bolt is, when you pull this pipe on the side a little bit, you will see that there is a bolt there. Now this bolt also you will have to take out completely. As you can see here how long these bolts are. So once you take out both these bolts, the air filter box you can now pull out from your boot space easily like this. Then you will have to put a 8mm T-spanner like this, and there will be a bolt under the starter motor which is holding the starter motor. Now there's one wire connected there that you will have to take out completely. Once you take out that bolt, the two wires which were connected to the starter motor are now completely separated. So once you leave both those wires, the next thing what you'll have to do is you will have to disconnect your wire harness from the bike body. So this wire harness is connected to the body with the help of a zip lock. So you will have to separate it from the body first. Now in this wire harness you should be leaving one plug. Now to leave that plug, this wire harness goes through a clamp. You will have to open this clamp by pushing a little bit. Once you open the clamp, take out the wires which go inside that. Once you take those wires out, you will see a zip lock here. Cut this zip lock, and once you cut this zip lock, just pull all those wires out. Once you pull all those wires, you will notice that there is a plug there. Now the next thing is you will have to leave the connection of this plug. So pull and disconnect the plug. Once you disconnect the plug, all your wires of the wire harness will go through this one zip lock. This zip lock you will have to cut. This is the same zip lock which was connected to our bike body, but now we will have to cut it because we have to separate these wires from the engine part. Once you cut this, the wires which we had disconnected from the starter motor, those wires were going through that zip lock. Those wires you can nicely separate now and keep it on the bike on top like this. And the accelerator cable and the choke cable also keep on the bike body like this. So the next thing what we will be doing is leaving the brake cable. So the brake cable will have a nut here. This nut you will have to take out completely. After taking out this main nut of the brake cable, pull the brake cable totally out of the brake lever. Then you will have to come under the clutch casing, and this brake cable you will notice that it is passing through this clamp. So loosen this clamp and take out the cable from the clamp. There will be two clamps here, but the second clamp you will have to take the bolt out completely because you cannot separate this clamp from the cable. Then if you come little bit more lower under the casing, you will notice that there is a Allen key bolt here. This Allen key bolt you will have to loosen, and once you loosen it, your brake cable goes through that clamp there. Now take that cable out completely. Now after taking the cable out from all these three clamps, this cable you will notice that it is passing between the spring and your main stand. So pull the brake cable out from this gap. So the next thing is you will have to take out the nut and bolt which is holding the rear shock absorber. For that you will need a 13mm socket. So on one side put the 13mm socket, and then you will need a 17mm socket which you will have to use for the nut on the other side of the bolt. So on the back side you will have to use the 17mm socket, and the bolt will be of 13mm socket. Use this and loosen this nut and take it out completely. With this, your shock absorber will be separated from the engine part. Once you leave the shock absorber, there will be a pipe connected to the clutch casing which will be tightened again with a zip lock. Cut this zip lock and leave this pipe, and once you leave this pipe, the next thing is the main thing. You will have to take out your main axle bolt which connects your front body and the back engine part together. This is the bolt that you will have to take out. It is a 17mm bolt, and if you go on the other side, then on the other side there will be a nut that also is of 17mm. Now on the other side somebody will have to catch the spanner, otherwise when you rotate it will turn on both the sides. So by holding the spanner on one side, you will have to loosen the axle bolt from this side like this. Now, so once you take out the nut completely from the other side, take a screwdriver like this and go on the other side and tap the bolt out completely from this side. Once you take it out at least this much, by pulling the bike body up a little bit, you can easily pull out this axle bolt. Now we are done with the main thing. Now you will have to keep a stool like this somewhere where you will keeping this front bike body. Now how I have positioned the bike, all guys must have noticed already. My front bike body, I will take it forward. So to take that in front, I need space in front. Otherwise if you disconnect everything, you will fall in trouble if you don't have space in front to separate the body. So when we tried to move the front part, it was not going forward, it was pulling the back part as well. So on that I remembered that I forgot to disconnect one thing, and that was this spring. This spring is connected to the front body and the main stand. So once I took that spring out, and after that you can see here very easily we separated the front bike body from the engine part. So now you will have to take your bike forward like this, and you will have to keep it on the stool which you have placed. Balance it properly, otherwise your bike can fall down. So with this, our front bike body is totally separated from the engine part now. All these things I had to do just to replace that spark plug which you have seen in my previous video. Now how to put this front body back onto the engine, that also I will show you. Otherwise it can be very troublesome to put this front body back onto the engine, especially to put that axle bolt. To put back the axle bolt is your main job here. So now bring the front body back to your engine part and place it on top like this. Now your job is to put back this axle bolt. Now to put back this axle bolt, you cannot put it just like that. You will have to align that hole. So for that I will use this jack. If you have a car, then you can use that jack. This jack you will have to put under the bike, and on top of the jack I will put a wooden board so that the bike will not get scratched from underneath. Then I will pump the jack because this is a hydraulic jack. With that my bike will come up. Once the front body comes up, align the engine to the hole of the axle bolt like how I am doing here. You will have to take this up only that much so that you can align the holes. So guys, as you can see here, I have aligned the hole from this side. So once it is aligned, you will have to put the axle bolt back like this. Now on one side it is gone inside, but on the other side it is still not aligned. Then you will have to go on the other side, and when you come on this side you will have to align the hole from this side. Now you can even pull your bike up and down and adjust the hole, but one guy will have to see if the hole is aligned on this side. Once the person who is looking from this side knows that the hole is aligned, then he should tell the guy on the other side to tap the bolt. Then the other guy will have to tap the axle bolt with a hammer and pass it completely. Once the bolt is passed completely, put the nut back and tighten it completely. And once you tighten that nut, the next thing that you'll have to put back is this spring. The one end of this spring goes on the main stand like how I have placed here, and the other end will go on the bike front body. So here I'm done putting back the spring. Now the next thing that you'll have to do is reconnect your air shock. After that, connect all the things which you had disconnected in a reverse order. So I'm hoping that this video was useful. If this video was useful, then like and share with your friends and family. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, then see that you subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you will not miss any of my next videos. Till then, this is Reassembling signing out, and I will see you guys in my next video.